Hi everyone, Neil again with another episode of the Energy Academy. Over the past couple of series, I've explained that the vast majority of electricity is traded on the wholesale market. True. And that generators in Great Britain are privately funded, developed and owned in accordance with market forces and government policy. Also true. However, it's a major oversimplification. The electricity market in Great Britain is actually not best thought of as a single entity. Instead, it's a series of interdependent markets and mechanisms which all have their own distinct roles and responsibilities. As I said before, National Grid ESO, our system operator, is still responsible for overseeing the balance of supply and demand. It's also directly responsible for the day-to-day running of some of these markets. Ofgem is still responsible for regulating these markets and ensuring that all participants play within each market's rules to ensure a level playing field. The electricity market itself is then made up of a number of other markets, mechanisms and services. First, we've got the capacity market. This works as a sort of insurance policy to ensure that Britain has enough capacity to keep the lights on. It does this by determining which new generators get built and which existing generators remain online. In that sense, you could say that the capacity market is responsible for determining the makeup of the generation stack in Great Britain. If the capacity market helps to determine the generation mix, the wholesale market is where generators decide when and how much electricity to generate based on the price per megawatt hour that they can get. As explained in Series 2, electricity can be traded on the wholesale market across massive timeframes, from years ahead of schedule right up to 1 hour before the point of actual delivery. This time, 1 hour before delivery, is known as gate closure. Gate closure is when generators have to inform National Grid ESO of their intentions. It's then the ESO's job to make sure that planned supply and demand are balanced, and it does this primarily through the balancing mechanism. The balancing mechanism does what it says on the tin. It's a mechanism for balancing electricity. In the balancing mechanism, the ESO pays generators to increase or reduce the levels of electricity they had previously intended to provide. The ESO can also ask large industrial users of electricity to turn up or turn down their usage to increase or reduce demand. This allows National Grid ESO to ensure that supply and demand are balanced. And finally, ancillary services help to balance the system at an even more granular level. They do this by maintaining grid stability on a second-by-second basis throughout the day. In this series, I'll be diving into each stage of this process in more detail. We'll cover every step of the journey so that by the end of this series, you'll have a much fuller picture of how the market for electricity in Great Britain operates. To begin, in the next episode, I'll be covering the capacity market. I'll see you there.